Hey guys, how are you, CUFI? I am privileged to be the Deputy Assistant to the President and Director of Strategic Initiatives for the Vice President. My name is Paul Teller, privileged to work every day at the White House. Spoken with many of you before in person at previous CUFI events. Sorry I can't be with you. Obviously, nobody is together at this time in this CUFI summit. And we're sorry for that, but we look forward to next year all being together in person. Next year in Washington, D.C., maybe we should say. Privileged to, again, have the opportunity to be with you just for a few moments. First of all, please understand how important CUFI is to this White House, to this president, to this vice president, to this administration, and to me personally. Many of you know, again, we've spoken about this before, but I'm one of the Jewish men in the White House, and therefore my pro-Israel advocacy that I've done throughout the administration, most of the time in the legislative affairs shop. You might remember that. Some of you have met me before, and now again in the vice president's office, makes my Israel advocacy that much more personal, because it isn't just political, it isn't just geostrategic. It is something that to myself as a Jew is very personal, very important. Something I've grown up with and have only grown to love my Israel advocacy work. And great to be with you today. In fact, I really want to say that working for this president and this vice president has made me even more proud of my Jewish heritage. It's easy to say those things openly, to be openly pro-Israel. I have many things on my office walls in the White House that are proudly pro-Israel, things that maybe couldn't have been hung there in previous administrations. So CUFI again is just so important, because not only does it stand for Israel, but as a Jewish man, to hear that there are Christians so passionately for Israel, so in such a principled way, just means a lot. It really does. Very grateful for that, and I always love connecting with you because it allows me to go back to my Jewish brethren and say, it's not just Jewish folks that stand for Israel. It's Christian folks as well. And we're so glad to have your alliance, again, in religious terms, but certainly in political terms as well. I brought a few notes for myself here because I really just didn't want to forget to leave out a few things. So you'll excuse me, I'm no expert at speaking in front of a camera this way. So if I look down for the next couple of minutes, it's just because I don't want to forget a couple of the points that I wanted to share with you. First, this is something anyone who's followed the Trump-Pence administration knows. Israel is the U.S.'s most strategic partner in the Middle East and North Africa, without a doubt. I don't know if that's in question. We've made that clear every single day, in this administration. And it comes from more than 70 years of partnership. But it also comes from the passion and the principles of the men at the top, Donald J. Trump, Michael Richard Pence. The two of them lead the way and lead this entire administration, lead the White House in its pro-Israel advocacy. And without them, there wouldn't be as passionate and as successful of a pro-Israel campaign that we've had throughout these last few years. Look, obviously our support for Israel derives from our shared values, but also our shared foreign policy in the region and across the world. And we're so grateful for that relationship. The president always refers to Israel as our cherished ally. You've heard him say that before. That's because of the connections on so many levels, right? Security and economic and cultural, political, et cetera, et cetera. Couple quick things to run down for you. These are things you probably know, but I can't help myself from saying them. I wrote myself little notes here. Just a few of the successes over the last few years under this administration. Of course, recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. What a moment, right? Wasn't that fantastic? And then, as if that couldn't be topped, it was, right? When we moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. And by the way, I should also mention, if you haven't gotten to know some of the staff over at the embassy, the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem, these are fantastic people. Ambassador David Friedman, R.E.A. Lightstone, David Milstein. These are just wonderful human beings, fantastic advocates for the United States and for the relationship with Israel. So get to know them if you haven't. Recognizing Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights, again, another fantastic accomplishment. And then look, most recently, as articulated by Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, concluding that the Israeli civilian settlements in Judea and Samaria are, it's not inconsistent with international law to have them merely exist, right? And that's just been a wonderful statement and just so excellent and inspiring for all of us in the pro-Israel community. And then then we've got the president's peace plan, which is bold and it's unique and it's realistic, and we are working on it every day to get that implemented. And please know that that's a priority of the president and this vice president. And look, when it comes to Iran, also an important aspect of pro-Israel policy is countering Iran. We're just going to continue with that maximum pressure campaign. There's no question. I was reassured that by the National Security Council right before making this video. And by the time you're watching this video, you will have just heard some new announcements in that maximum pressure campaign, some new sanctions, things like that I think you'll be very pleased with. But, all I ask is that you stay with us, keep supporting us in this White House. We've got more to come. And just know that we are with you so strongly, so fervently, so passionately, and we're so grateful. Again, and put my hand over my heart one more time to say thank you so much to CUFI and all that you do for Israel, for this White House, for this administration, and again, for me personally. So thanks again. Enjoy the rest of the summit, and we will be in good touch. Take care. Thank you.